Yeah, we rolling, baby. We
Let's
in
do it.
action. Finna get this money.
Yep. And we-
Welcome to Big Flex Overdose.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say it took a lot of communication, but
A little bit of planning, you know.
But it's funny because the people I bring on here is like that's the expectation. Like, okay, how can I say it? Like, we not doing shit. So it's like we
Right.
don't have a lot of free time to just pop up and do an interview. Like, we
Right.
actually have to plan that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things I didn't really expect, when I started this, or
Mhm.
didn't really like see.
Right.
And I think that's just interesting, like to just understand that, and then have somebody who not doing shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you ready to go right now?
Right.
Like, I'm like, do I want that or do I? No, but what's your name? Let's start with your name.
My name's Tamara Washington. Some people know me as Brown Sugar. That's my poet name. So.
Okay, Brown Sugar.
Mm-hmm.
What made you choose that?
Honestly, it wasn't like a reason behind it. It just kind of like came to me one day. I feel like that's how a lot of stuff happened. It just be coming to me. So I just take that as a sign and I go with it.
That's deep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what was happening to you?
At the time when it happened, like I think I was probably doing something random. I could have been cleaning or something like that, and it just like boom, Brown Sugar. I'm like, I think it was right before, maybe last year when I was working on the book that I just released recently. I was like, oh, okay, maybe I could I like this name. Like maybe I could title my book Brown Sugar. But I was like, no, I think that kind of fits me. Like I think I like that for me. You know what I'm saying? And actually, after I told my nana that was like my poet name, she was like, "That's crazy because like that's what the whole family know me as. Like when I was younger, she was like, if we go back home, like right now, they're gonna tell you they call me Brown Sugar. So when we actually went back to Alabama, that's like where a lot of my family's from. There was like we went somewhere and they saw like some older people we knew, and it was like, what my name was like, what's my name? And they said Brown Sugar. And like I guess they all knew about it. I had no idea, so she was like, you need to go buy Brown Sugar 2.0. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Not doing that.
You lucky should have though.
The 2.0?
Yeah,
it just
it would have made it intriguing. It would have made people ask like, what is the 2.0
the 2.0
for?
Yeah.
Like that would have been dope, low key.
But then I'd be like, oh, that's what they call my nana. But I mean, it's not like my nana a poet or nothing. Now, if she was, now I would probably go with that. But
okay.
It wouldn't be nothing special behind it, minus saying like, oh, that's just what they call my nana back in the day. Like, but yeah, no, I like Brown Sugar though. It just kind of fit me. That's the best way I can describe it for real.
Okay, so you were a poet and what else?
Poet, author, entrepreneur. So I kind of combine like the poet part of me with my business. So like I'll sell like my poetry books and merchandise inspired by my books. Like my first poetry book is called Peaches and Cream, which is a shirt. I have one right now. So I sell different merchandise inspired by my books. I also sell shea butter and sugar scrubs, so kind of like a beauty line mix in it. But my business is called Variety Pack because it's just like I be having so many different things I want to do. So it's kind of like I want to like bring it all together instead of having all these separate like entities and stuff like that, and kind of do it all and just have it under like a variety of different things that people can choose from.
So you should some advice that because I'm a businessman, so that's right up my alley. As soon as you said it, shit, I want to talk about that now. But a little side note, that's a really smart idea because a lot of people don't do that. So when you separate businesses and LLC them under different names, that's just more taxes you got to pay, more oversight, and it just makes shit a lot harder when you generalize everything and have companies under one LLC. So by the sounds of it, you should go for like you should categorize yourself as a wholesaler, your entity as a wholesaling entity, and then have these brotherins and sistering, however you say it, companies that's connected under this one LLC. So you still have to do a little bit of different tax stuff, but at the end of the day, it's all being taxed through this one LLC. So
is it similar to like a DBA, like you just having another business and it's like doing business as like the main business? Because I be seeing like doing so many different ways. It's just like so many different ways to do stuff, and it's like it depends on like what your business is and stuff like that. You'll do it this way versus this way. It'd be a lot, like. So I actually wanted to like hire like a business lawyer to kind of like give me a breakdown of my different You don't think I should do that?
They gonna tax yours for no reason.
You think so?
YouTube University.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and I be looking stuff up, and I be seeing so many different things. But I'm like, what's the best option for me, though? You know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of confused me. So maybe we could sit down one day and we can kind of talk about that too, and sit down with different like business people and kind of see.
To answer your question, to do business as that really locks you in with your local municipality. Mm-hmm. The LLC locks you in with the state and with the world type of deal. So like to do business as, it's just saying when I come to your city, I'm doing business as this entity. Mm-hmm. But if you don't LLC it, that won't even matter because that entity does not exist. So you get both. So you get your LLC to certify yourself with the state. So the state attorney general assign it and say, this is a legit entity in this state. Right. You can take that all over the world. Whatever cities you plan to do most of your business in or business in period, you go to that local municipality and then to get your to do business as and work from there. But that we could definitely sit down because like my end goal is consulting. So like I was saying the other night, I don't know if you was there, but
I ain't been there in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Motherfuckers better catch me before I start taxing. And that's happening around the end of this year. I'll tell you.
Look, we're going to talk it.
I'll LLC in that, boy. I'm telling you. Right. So let's start with your childhood and work up from there. And it's funny because that's usually one of the first questions I ask, but as soon as you said brown sugar, I'm like, I need to know about this.
Right.
So where did you grow up at? Where are you from?
So I'm a military brat. So when people say where I'm from, I feel like it kind of depends because I claim I'm from Texas because that's where I moved here from. I moved here from Texas. Well, I stay on the Illinois side, but I moved here from Texas probably like 5 years ago. I lived in Texas the longest, but I was born in Georgia. I was only there for like 2 years, and we moved to Florida there for 4 years. I moved to Japan. I was there for 4 years. After Japan, moved to Texas. We was there maybe a few years, and we moved back to Florida for like less than a year and came back to Texas. So I'm just more familiar with Texas and everything. And then I've been out here for 5 years.
And that's because of
my mom was in the military. Okay. She's retired now, but.
Okay. Yeah. So how was that moving around a lot? How did it affect
you? I feel like as a kid, I didn't really see no problem with it. Up until I want to say that time where I told you we went from Texas to Florida and we came back. We actually came back because she kind of saw how it was affecting me. Because at that point, I think I was going into my sophomore year. So whenever we moved to Texas the first time, I was going into 6th grade. And then we left my end of my freshman year. So when I was moving to Florida and like I was in high school, like trying to meet new friends and like it was just a horrible experience. Like, I hated it. Like, but I was just kind of like down and out for real. Like I was still like young. I didn't really know that I was depressed, but I kind of felt like I was just always down. You know what I'm saying? And my mom kind of saw how it affected me, and we ended up moving back to Texas. So that's why we were there up until I want to say my first year of college. So yeah, moving around a lot, it didn't really affect me because I feel like when you're a kid, you don't really know. Like you're so young, it's so easy to meet friends and do all this stuff. So it didn't matter up until that point. Then it became hard.
So what type of friends did you have? Like
since I moved around a lot and stuff.
Like where I
had all different types. Like when I tell you all different types, like because I went to school, like for example, when I lived in I don't remember too much about Florida and Georgia. I was so young, but when we moved to Japan, I stayed on base and we went to school on base and everything. So it was like a variety of different people. So I had like Asian friends, black, white, just so many different like types of friends. It was crazy. Like it was just real diverse, which I kind of do appreciate the fact that I was a military brat because like when it comes to like jobs or like I could really be put in any environment and I could talk to anybody. I can get along with anybody because I'm used to being around any and everybody. So it definitely had like its pros. The only con I could really say is that the friends that I did meet, we didn't really keep in touch with each other because maybe we didn't have phones at the time. Or I moved and then we just never like kept in touch for real. So I don't like have any friendships that like I could say like, oh, we've been friends since like elementary or like, you know, something like that. But yeah.
That's crazy.
There's a lot of pros and cons.
Would you say the pros outweigh the cons?
Yes.
Okay.
For me. Okay. Now I know a lot of other like military brats that their experience was not the same because maybe like when they moved around a lot, they were like a little bit older. Maybe they were still in high school. Then they didn't get the opportunity to just move back like I was able to do. and stuff like that. So a lot of people, they were like, no, I hated it. Like, I hate moving. I met friends, got comfortable, and they had to move. You know,
Okay.
A lot of people do not like it, but I don't know. I guess I feel like my experience was a little bit different. You know.
So, did you grow up with both your parents?
No, just my mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mind touching on your dad? Like, do you have a relationship with him?
No. Nope. So my dad, like, he's kind of like a out of sight, out of mind type of guy. So it's like, he would maybe talk to me like once a year on my birthday. He'll tell me happy birthday. We'll talk for maybe like a couple weeks. Like, he'll call, check up on me and stuff like that, and then he would just like kind of go ghost. But I knew I would hear from him again on my birthday next year. So it was kind of like a pattern up until, I'm trying to think what age. I don't even remember what age I was, but I remember like I didn't hear from him for like multiple years, like not my birthday or nothing. So I was just like, dang, like then he popped back up like years later on my birthday. He was like, happy birthday. And I didn't respond. I didn't respond because I'm like,
nigga, what? Like,
exactly. So I didn't hit him back, and then the next year on my birthday, he did it again. He said happy birthday. I didn't respond, and I really didn't talk to him for a while up until, I want to say like 2 years ago. He actually hit me up on Messenger. This is all on Messenger. He don't have my number, nothing like that. He'll find me on Facebook. He'll message me on Messenger, and he was like, on my birthday again 2 years ago, he was like, happy birthday. Sorry, I'm like not a good dad. I hope you can forgive me, and just, stuff like that. The same old stuff that he's said plenty of times. So
did you respond?
I did. I wasn't going to. I wasn't going to. So I actually had a talk with my mom, and I was just like, I told her like what he said. And I was like, I don't think I was so angry, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been gone all these years and you've been so inconsistent. You come back and you're saying the same thing you said to me probably like 3 times already, So I was talking to her about it, and she was like, no, like I definitely get you, understand. But she was like, I feel like you do want a relationship with him. But you just like have like a lot of anger, because of it. And I was like, yeah, you're right, but it's like I don't want to give him another opportunity or chance to disappoint me again. And she was just like, it's completely up to you, but I feel like maybe you should just try to give him a chance and just see how it goes. And I thought about it a little bit, and I responded, and I was just like,
fuck you.
No, I wanted to. I was just like, I don't know if I should give you another chance, because I don't want to give you another opportunity to disappoint me. And so he basically was like, no, like that's not gonna be the case and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give you another chance. And he was like, thank you, I love you, stuff like that. I just said, you're welcome. And he was like, send me some updated pictures of you. So I sent him a few pictures. He read them. I ain't talked to that man since. I kid you not. So that's been what I said, like 2 years now. Yeah, I ain't talked to him since. But I know one thing: if he hit me up again, like, this is done for. I'm not responding nothing.
You don't think you'll ever be able to mend that? Like, okay, that's kind of a hard, impossible question to answer, because you can't tell the future.
Yeah.
So
I have an idea.
You've been thinking about it.
Yeah, I have. And I have only because I started going to therapy, I want to say like in 2020. And come to find out, like, a lot of like the problems that I had in my life and stuff kind of like stem from my dad. Like, of course, it was all on me and stuff, but the reason that I felt certain ways or acted certain ways, it always reminded me, like, took me back to like my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like relationship wise, I would give people chance after chance and stuff, like just thinking like, well, maybe if I do all this, they'll love me, or for, X, Y, and Z. But I was kind of like, I guess, chasing the love that I wanted my dad to give me. And then when stuff didn't work out and they treated me bad, I'm like, damn, like, am I the problem? Don't nobody love me? My daddy didn't love me. They left my dad, stuff like that. Like, it would always like go back to my dad. So when me and her would talk about certain things, I just kind of realized like a lot of my problems like related to him. You know what I'm saying? So to like get over that and stuff, I had to realize it first off, and then forgive him. People be asking me, do you forgive him? I be thinking I do, but sometimes I feel like stuff would happen, and then I'll be thinking like, no, I really don't. Not completely. I think it's like way better. I do know if he tried to like this is how I feel right now. Like you said, we can't tell the future, but I feel like if he tried to like come back now and talk to me, I don't think I will respond or try. I just really don't want to waste my time no more. I feel like he had a lot of time and he had a lot of opportunities to try. He has said he wanted to try, he wants to do better multiple times, but he never shows it. He never does anything to show that. So I'm kind of just over it. Like I pretty much grew up my whole life without my dad. So I'm used to that and I'm cool with that. And I'm just working on forgiving him completely. And I'm gonna let that be that.
I think that's a weird concept, that
Right.
forgive and forget shit. Like,
Yeah.
because in my head it's like, for me to forgive you, I have to forget what happened. So it's like,
and you always gonna think about it, yeah.
So it's like, what? But then 5 years go by, I'm like, okay, I understand it, because the anger is not as intense.
Yeah.
So now I can sit down and have a conversation with you
Mm-hmm.
to figure out what happened, and that leads into my next question. Like, yeah, you answered the one I was gonna do before that, but reflecting back as an adult, why do you think he was the way he was?
I kind of feel like it's because he still wanted to be with my mom, and my mom didn't want to be with him. So it was kind of like he kind of took that out on me in a sense. That's how I feel. Because my mom even said there'd be times like he would like come back, he'll call or whatever, he'll try to like talk to her, but it was nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't want nothing to do with him no more after like they divorced and stuff like that. So I kind of feel like maybe he had resentment towards my mom, and maybe I'm just like a part of that in a sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, hell yeah.
So I kind of feel like that's what it is. I really don't know, but and like I said, like a lot of that happened when I was younger. So when he did hit me up 2 years ago, I mean I was grown still, so it's like okay, as an adult, I'm gonna try to not even forget, but try to give you another opportunity. And then he blew it then still the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of feel like even now, even if I did get to the point to where I could sit down and have a conversation with him, it's just like I don't really see myself like
taking it serious,
being like talk to you like a random person I'm having a conversation with. Yeah, I'm not gonna like be opening up to you or like maybe talking about things he wants to talk about or being vulnerable with him. I don't really see that happening. Like I feel like it'll be like this huge guard up, and it's like we're not gonna get anywhere. Like it'll probably be like real surface level. But I can't say, maybe like when I'm in my 30s, if he tried to reach out again, I don't even know if he would try to reach out again, honestly. But
I think once you have kids,
you think he might?
I think you will.
I don't even know if I want to have kids. So.
For real? Oh, before we go there, I got some more questions about your childhood.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you have any siblings growing up? Do you have any siblings?
I do have siblings. So I have two little sisters I live with now. One's about to be 4, and the other one just turned 6. So I was grown pretty much.
That's crazy.
Yeah, when I had them. So I didn't grow up with any. My dad does have other kids, so I knew that I had siblings, but we never lived close together. So I never I've seen them maybe like twice in my life. I went to like a family reunion back in Georgia. I saw them there, but I've only seen them like 1 to 2 times in my life. But I always knew I had siblings, but I never like grew up with any. So pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So
only child.
How is it being a military brat? Like okay, let's do a day in the life of being a military brat. What should you expect?
Really, like a day to day, it's not much that's different. Because you're doing all the same stuff that everybody else is doing. Minus like the moving. You're probably going to be moving every 4 years. So like then that's when things are like going to be different.
Like, did you see it? Well, as you reflect back, how do you think it affects your character? Because to me, that's a completely different environment from like me. I grew up in the city, right. So I didn't have a lot of discipline like that. So I had to start, as I got older and matured, I had to start forcing my own discipline and figuring out that whole concept. But I'm feeling like as a military kid, that's just instilled in you, that type of discipline.
Yeah, so that is a good point. So yeah, when people are in the military, they do have to follow certain rules, do things a certain way. Certain things are accustomed in them, so they usually pass that down to their kids. A lot of people that are in the military, they're usually like strict, and then they're like strict parents to their kids, stuff like that. For me, my mom, she wasn't really strict, but she certain things that need to be done a certain way. And I think it was just like the military like stuff instilled in her. But other than that, I can't even think of like the day to day different stuff, because I know other like military brats that are like real similar to like somebody like you. They grew up in the city, so I kind of feel like it's based on like just how your parents were. Yeah.
Okay. So, when you moved back to Texas, was it awkward readjusting back to your peer group? Like,
not at all.
Okay.
Because we were gone for like less than a year. And some of them I still like communicated with even when I was in Florida. So it was just more so like everybody was excited that I was back, you know. But yeah, it wasn't like weird adjusting, because that's kind of like what I knew.
So did you move back on the base, or it was just
no? So in Texas, I actually didn't live on base.
Okay.
Everywhere else, I lived on base.
Okay.
So in Texas, yeah, I was off base.
So how was the kids in Texas? Like, can you compare?
Kids?
Yeah.
What you mean, like?
Like, are they similar to us here in St. Louis? I know.
Oh, see, and people ask me this. Okay, so not even just like the kids, but people be like, how do you like it here versus, you know, because they know I'm from Texas, and I tell people all the time, I really don't like it. I'm gonna be honest with.
You don't like St. Louis?
It's not even St. Louis. It's like the Midwest. So even though I'm a military brat, I'm used to being down south. So you know, Texas down south. I was born in Georgia. Florida's down south. My family is from Alabama. Like I'm just used to being down south. So it's like it's just completely different. Like the Southern hospitality is not there. Like I feel like people here, and people are rude everywhere. Don't get me wrong, but a lot of people here, they're like just more rude than I'm used to. It's like a lot of people like just walk around like you owe them something, and it's like it's just crazy because I'm like a real friendly person. I was telling somebody this other day, like I feel like being here has kind of like changed me in a sense of I'm kind of adjusting to how people are here. Like I'm not as friendly as I used to be. I'm still real friendly. Like at the Create place, when I first started going there, I would just be like real quiet, and then just over time I would start talking and stuff. But before, I would be the one like talking a lot. I'm just going up to people and stuff like that. That's how I was when I first moved here. Like I wanted friends, so if I saw somebody that looked like around my age group, I'm like, "You seem cool. We should hang out," you know, stuff like that. Now you probably would not catch me doing that because it's like that's not the same energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's a lot of cool people here, and I'm starting to realize that like within the past year. But it's like something had to happen for us to end up having a conversation. For me to realize
I was just gonna say
cool.
that, like you gotta
just happen, yeah.
You gotta get shot at with a nigga. Then they like we friends, bro. We can rock together. But other than that, it's like that's an associate / enemy, nigga. Yes. I don't even know what street you from, like. But you could be enemies.
Even like with me being like real friendly, like I'm a hugger. So when I see people, like I'm probably gonna give you a hug. But now I try to like kind of see if they're cool with that first or something, because a lot of people be like, "What you doing?" Like they think it's like weird. I'm like, "What you mean?" Like it's just like certain things. And I remember like I was in a neighborhood and my friend was in the car and somebody was walking and they just waved and I waved back. You know, that's just what some people do. My friend was like, "You know them? What they doing?" I'm like, "This is what we do." Somebody, you know, you see them, you just wait. It's just like a lot of different things are just like completely different for me. I'm starting to enjoy my time here because, like I said, I'm meeting a lot of like nice people, real cool people, talented people. Do I want to stay here forever though? No, I'm not even gonna lie. I may not go back to Texas, but I want to be somewhere down south. Because one, that's what I'm used to, but also I can say I have tried to live somewhere else, and it's just not really for me, for real. And I miss the Southern hospitality so much. Every time I go back to visit, I'm just like, dang, like.
I need to go to Alabama now. I need to feel that because
Alabama, Texas, like
I've been to Texas.
Yeah. What was your experience there?
Huh?
What was your experience? Like, do you think how the people were compared to here?
You the first person to ask me a question.
Really? Look, I'm interviewing the interviewer.
You the first. I've been waiting for somebody, but you the first person.
Really? That's crazy.
Because I usually be question, like, but it was different. Like I definitely didn't see no Southern hospitality, or maybe I couldn't really distinguish.
Yeah.
Because you know I'm a real strong, dominant person, so most people tend not to move on me unless I open up for them. Okay. You know, and then I was in like Houston, you know, the city part. Like I couldn't tell if we was in St. Louis or not. Like,
yeah.
It's except for by the heat.
Yeah.
And some of the, weird things that was different. But I don't know, like, yeah, it was only for like a weekend I was there. But I definitely, like, I would love moving there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of big businesses moved there. And a lot of the comedy scene is starting to pop up there now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I probably would love Texas. It's just breaking out of this St. Louis stuff. Like, like what you said, like, I don't like people trying to talk to me. Because when I'm moving, it's like I'm moving with intent. So I'm in my head, one, trying to remember everything I need to be doing, and two, just watching my surroundings, trying to be as sharp as possible. So it's like I'm walking down the street and a motherfucker just, hey buddy, I'm like, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, don't you have something to be doing right now? Like, but but
someone has told me that, like, when I told them, like, kind of little spiel I just told you, I don't remember who it was, but they're born and raised in St. Louis, and they were just kind of telling me, like, out here people are crazy, things are crazy, so a lot of us we do have our guard up because you just never know. And I was like, that does make sense. I'm just not used to it. So to me, not knowing, like, getting a perspective from somebody that's from here, it was just kind of like, dang, what's wrong with y'all? You know what I'm saying? And I do get it now. I do get it more so now that I've been, like I said, I live on the Illinois side, but I'm always in St. Louis. My grandparents stay in St. Louis. So I am starting to understand more, giving people grace. So.
I feel like, because most people that come here that's not from here, they say something along those same lines, and it always come to me like St. Louis help people develop a strong, disciplined character, like a part of that character, like you can't just snatch no St. Louis female up. She go fight, she go scream,
right,
and she gonna see you a block ahead, before you even get that close to even do some shit like that, And I see videos of like people in, say, Florida, they move like they got a motherfucking something over their head, and they just trying to look at that and touch that. Like, it's like they don't even watch themselves. Like, they on the phone moving, but I don't know. It's like you saying, it's good and bad here. But you really just gotta you get out what you put in here. So if you looking for that smoke, if you looking for the negativity, there's plenty of people here that's willing and ready to give it to you. But if you just trying to, woosah and chill and enjoy yourself, it's a lot of that here too. And that's starting to outweigh too. So
I have noticed that.
Even
places like Create,
and they just starting to pop up. Like Create just popped up.
Oh, okay. So it's like they did say they opened last year because they just had their anniversary. Yep.
Like, but before that, like, literally, it was like a end of the year shift. But before that, you can go nowhere without getting shot at. Like, this North County and the city folks start to migrate out here, and it was like gunshots, ambulance every day. But after 2021, coming into 2022, it's like you'd be lucky to hear a gunshot nowadays. Yeah, but we cleaning ourselves up here. But get back to you. What are some of the values or beliefs that were instilled in you during your childhood?
Let me think. One, being honest. Just growing up, my mom just always, just between me and her, she was just like, don't lie to me no matter what you do. Do not lie to me, because if you lie to me once, I'll never trust you again. Like, I'll never believe anything that you're gonna say. So I think about that, like, with any and everybody. I like, even now I suck at lying. Like, I tell people now I suck at lying. So if I'm lying, you probably don't know. But I just try to use that in my day-to-day life since I've been grown, and as I was growing up. Like, I don't just be out here lying to people. Like, I try to definitely just always just tell the truth and keep it honest with people, because I feel like that is very important. Your word is all you have. So that's definitely one of them. One, just keeping up with yourself. Like, my mom, she wasn't always wearing the nicest stuff and stuff like that, but she looked presentable no matter where she went. And she kind of like told me just like how she carried herself, and she made sure I did the same thing. So I feel like that's a very important thing that I've always kept with myself too. Just carry yourself a certain way. Not even like what you wear, but how you speak when you're talking to people, stuff like that. Because you can go into, let's say, something like a job interview, you talking any type of way, that's not gonna help you get the job. So she made sure I was just like on my P's and Q's, with just being presentable in every way. Those are two for sure. There's plenty more. I'm trying to think if I could think of some off the top of my head.
It seemed like you pretty humble.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's another big one. I'm glad you said that. Yeah, definitely. So growing up, so like my mom wasn't like just the richest, but to me, I couldn't tell. Like, and now that I'm older, I know that we didn't used to have it all when I was younger, but I never had no idea. Now my mom, she's definitely well off, and to this day, like from how she was then to how she is now, she's a very humble person, and just I see how she is with other people. She's never bragging. She, just how she carries herself as far as like everything that she has and stuff like that. I I'm kind of like the same way, and so I am very very humble because that's what my mom is. I really am very similar to my mom. A lot of the stuff that how she is and stuff, it kind of like passed down to me. Um, just little things that she would tell me too. Just like, for example, if you're going out to eat and you know somebody else is taking care of the bill, don't be ordering the steak and shrimp. Like just be considerate, stuff like that. Just I practice that to this day. If I know somebody else is gonna pay beforehand, I'm not about to get the most expensive thing on the menu. It just doesn't sit right with me. So yeah, just like little things that she's like said to me over the years is just like kind of stuck in me to this day. Plenty of other things, but I just can't think of more right now off the top of my head. But there's a few.
So how do you approach a relationship, whether that's intimate or just a friendship? Like, what are some of the
approach it in what way? Like to get it started, get a relationship started, like a friendship started, a relationship started.
Like, how do you weigh a person out? Like, do you go first off of looks, or do you skip the looks and go to the mind, or do you go for smell? Like, gotta smell
first, good. Well, I mean that'll definitely help. First, I will say it is looks that's gonna grab my attention, but it's not gonna keep me. So I may be like, oh dang, they look good. I may try to talk to them or whatever the case, but let's say just within me talking to you for a few hours, some people I'm like, oh no, this just ain't gonna work. Like, yeah, you look good, but no, like this is not gonna go anywhere. So, and there's some people that I'm like, yeah, they look good. We're getting to know each other, and then like a month down the line, they're showing me like qualities and traits, and I'm like, oh no, like this is dead. But there's also been people that they weren't ugly to me, but they just weren't what I usually would go for. But their personality and stuff made them look better. So that I could do that. Sometimes it just depends on how attracted I am to them still, because I feel like personality and all that is definitely very important. But if I'm not attracted to you physically, it's just not going to work because I still do need that. So it has to be in between for me. Yeah, looks are important, but the personality is too. You can look real good, but if your personality and every qualities and traits is not there, it's not going to work. You can have a good personality, certain good traits and stuff that I want, but if I'm not like actually physically attracted to you, it's not going to work either. So I definitely know I need an in between. And it's shallow to some people, but I don't know, it's just something like I want to be able to just look at my person and just be like, dang, like they look so good. Like, and you treat me good. Like both of them. I need both. I do. So and it's not fair to me to be like, yeah, I'm not physically attracted to you, but you treat me good.
How is that not fair?
It's not fair because I'm not gonna be able to give you everything that you would need. There's gonna be stuff kind of restricting me.
What about you though? What if you need a lot in that time?
If I need a lot in that time,
like what if you more so need the attraction to the other person rather than they needing it to you or mutual? Like
that's usually how it is. Like not to sound like that, but yeah, like the few people that I wasn't that physically attracted to, they were really attracted to me. I just wasn't really attracted to them. But to me, it was kind of settling because I'm not fully there. If I know that because some people don't need both, but to me, I need both. So if I don't have, and you don't have to be the finest thing in the world. That's not even what I'm saying. It's just I have to be attracted to you because I may think somebody's attractive and somebody else don't. I really don't care. I think they're attractive and they got the traits that I want to need. I personally need both. So if I'm not getting one or the other, even if it was like, if we flip it around, if I'm not getting one or the other, I just can't. I can't fully give myself to you.
So
you know
How do you tell an ugly person that you ain't trying to fuck with them?
So if they just don't look good and they're trying to initially shoot their shot, I'll just be like, I'm not interested. But I appreciate it, or something like that. But I ain't gonna be like, oh no, you ugly. So like no, because to some people I'm probably ugly, So it's just like I'm not interested. I don't even want to waste your time.
You don't think that will help them though?
Help them with
what? Get a better understanding of how they can shoot. Because it's like me personally.
You see Jay-Z's with Beyonce, and that has a lot more to do with other stuff. But I mean, there's like a lot of people that I don't like calling people ugly, but there's a lot of people that I do not think is attractive, but they're with people that I think look really good.
Okay.
So that's just a preference for the person. So I wouldn't want anybody to think that, like you said, okay, boom, let's say I shoot them down. They're like, dang, well, maybe I need to like aim lower. No, I wouldn't want them to aim lower. I mean, I'm not going to like mess with you, but I feel like you should still go for what you want to go for, because somebody probably will go for it. I got a lot of friends that are really beautiful, and they will say like, I love ugly niggas.
You lying like a motherfucker. You lying. Who?
At Create, it was Treasure. She said she like medium ugly niggas. But I got a lot of friends. You weren't there that day?
No.
Oh my God.
Capping like a motherfucker.
I swear.
You may have to cut this and talk about her for a second.
And you got to interview with her tomorrow too.
How you know?
She told me. Yeah. Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, she was like, I like medium ugly niggas.
Hello, so what's ugly? Like
that, okay, that's based person. Okay. Yeah, person to person. But I have other friends that said that.
But
yeah,
I found I had to be in a better position.
Yeah.
To really start fucking with classes like that type of deal.
But I feel it just depends on the person, because everybody's definition of what look good and what don't look good is so different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I say too, like, if you think somebody look good, go for it. Because and not everybody's like me. Some people are like, I don't care what you look like, as long as you treat me good. You know what I'm saying? I wish I was like that, but I know since I'm not, I just can't.
I can't either. Like,
if
I look at you and be like, ew, like
that's what I'm saying.
I can't sit up there and kiss you. Like, I don't even like kissing already.
Yeah. So if really not,
come on now. Like, if I gotta hurry up, I'm like, and I'm rude. I'll be like, bitch, you ugly. Like, what the fuck make you think I would talk to you? Because I had to go through a lot of rejection. So it's like but I'm a different type of nigga. So I know, like, I thrive off that type of negativity, because that type, like, negativity forces me to self-introspect. Mm-hmm. So it shows me like, oh no, but yeah, I'm rude with it. Like, bitch, you ugly. Like,
you wrong as hell.
It helps people though. I promise you, it helps.
You don't think you can let them down like lighter than that?
I mean, but it's sugarcoating, and it's like, would you like? You don't like to be lied to?
I don't, but delivery